Have you ever wondered if certain types of governments are simply better at keeping the peace? The idea that democracies rarely fight each other, known as democratic peace theory, is a compelling one in international relations. However, like any significant theory, it faces several principal objections. The main criticisms center on the definition of democracy and peace, the challenge of proving causation versus mere correlation, the potential for democracies to engage in interventionism, and the specific historical context in which the theory gained prominence. Let us dive a little deeper into the reasons behind these objections. One key area of contention is how we define democracy and peace. Critics argue that the definition of democracy used in the theory can be too narrow, often excluding states that are democratizing or those with illiberal democratic features. This can skew the data, making it seem like stable, mature democracies are inherently peaceful with each other, while overlooking conflicts involving states transitioning to democracy. Furthermore, the definition of peace sometimes refers only to the absence of large-scale interstate warfare, potentially ignoring covert actions, proxy conflicts, or significant political tensions. Another major objection tackles the idea of causation. Is it truly democracy that prevents war between states, or are there other underlying factors at play? Many scholars suggest that shared interests, such as robust economic interdependence, common alliances against external threats, or similar cultural values, might be the real drivers of peace between democratic nations. It is a classic question of correlation versus causation. Democracies might indeed be peaceful with each other, but it might not be asterisk because they are democracies. Then there is the objection concerning democratic interventionism. While democracies may not fight each other, historical evidence shows they are quite willing to engage in conflicts with non-democratic states, sometimes even to promote democracy abroad. Critics argue that this pattern of intervention can destabilize regions and lead to prolonged conflicts, challenging the overall notion that democracies are inherently peaceful actors on the global stage. This leads to a nuanced understanding. Peace among democracies does not necessarily equate to overall global peace. Finally, the historical context of the theory's development is also a point of critique. A significant portion of the observed democratic peace occurred during the Cold War era. Some argue that the common threat of the Soviet Union created a powerful unifying force among Western democracies, fostering alliances and cooperation that overshadowed any potential for internal conflict. This perspective suggests that the democratic peace might have been a product of unique geopolitical circumstances rather than an inherent quality of democratic governance itself. Understanding these historical specificities helps us avoid overgeneralizing the theory's applicability. By examining these principal objections, you gain a far more sophisticated understanding of international relations. It encourages you to look beyond simple explanations and to consider the complex interplay of political systems, economic ties, shared interests, and historical forces that shape global stability and conflict. This critical lens allows you to evaluate specific international events and relationships with a more informed and discerning perspective.